everyone. I am Leslie with Uplifting Moments with Leslie, and I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into this message today. I am excited about this message, and I hope that you are too. I hope that it encourages you and helps you in your life. So let's get started. But if you haven't already, please like and subscribe and share this message with someone you think that needs it. All right, so let's get started. The title for tonight's message is, Does It Fit? Okay, I want you to ask yourself, I want you to take a moment and say, have you ever tried to force something to fit knowing it didn't fit? I'm talking about a job, a relationship, clothes, choices. Be honest with yourself. I'll raise my hand. I'll be the first to raise my hand because I have done that. I have forced things to fit knowing they didn't fit. So let's get into it. Let's get a little deeper into this. So a lot of times we try to force things that don't fit, right? And then we don't understand why we're so frustrated, why we're stressed out, why we feel like we can't win, why we feel unbalanced, why we're unhappy. That's because we're trying to force something that doesn't fit. If you see two objects like a square and a circle, you know that doesn't fit inside each other, unless the circle is huge, right? But they're the same circumference. You know it doesn't fit, so you don't try to fit it, right? So why do you keep trying to force a choice that you made fit? Maybe you made this choice under pressure because of your environment or because of the situation that you were in, so you felt like you had to make that choice, but it no longer fits you. Why are you staying in that forced fit when you feel like you can't win? You feel like it's not the place for you. Maybe you made a choice, right? And it was a good decision at the time because of where you were at in your life. But now it no longer fits. You no longer fit there. Why are you staying there? Maybe you made a decision and you've grown, but you're still trying to fit in that same place. Let me show you what I'm talking about. These things right here, these two cups. At first you're looking like, okay, this looks like this could fit, right? But it only goes in so far. Do you continue to try to force it to fit? No, you don't. And if you do, look what happens. It gets stuck. Now you're stuck walking around with something that doesn't really fit. You don't understand why you can't get ahead, why you aren't successful, why you're not flourishing. Well, baby, you walk around here unbalanced. You walk around something that doesn't fit, so it's tight and it's uncomfortable because you forced it to fit. Let's go a little deeper. You made a career choice, right? And you're miserable. Like, I've been there, honey. I have been there, miserable. You made a career choice, and at first you were so happy, you're so excited, you're telling the world, I got this new job, you're so excited, and now you're sitting there miserable. What happened? Did you grow? Did you change? Did the job change? What happened? You know it no longer fits you, or maybe it never fit you in the first place, because I've had to take some jobs that I knew were not a good fit for me, but I needed the job, right? I think we've all been in that situation, right? And if you haven't, you're extremely blessed. But the question is, what changed? Some things transpired, and it no longer fits you, and it no longer even fits your path. But you're sitting there every day walking around stressed out, complaining about this job that you were so happy about, when it probably never fit you in the first place. Or it did fit you and now you've grown. But you don't understand why you're not successful, right? Your skills can't even flourish in that job because you're somewhere you no longer fit. I'm not even saying leave the company, I'm saying in that job. And maybe you no longer fit because there's something else for you to do, whether it's entrepreneurship or whether it's in a different company. But you no longer fit, and you're sitting there miserable, right? Like this is how you look. This is how you look at a job that you no longer fit. For all my Bulls fans out there. So you're sitting there, you're like, okay, this is fitting, right? Your button, your jacket, it fits, right? You start getting down here, you're like, ooh, this is getting a little tight, right? But you go ahead and button it anyway, knowing it doesn't fit, right? You're forcing it. I'm forcing this button. I'm about to bust out of this jacket. Can't hardly breathe. Up in here miserable because I forced it to fit. It fits in one area, but it no longer fits here. So maybe it fits to pay your bills, but it doesn't fit your success. It doesn't fit the path that you're going on. Whew! See, now that I took that off, I unbuttoned it, I'm no longer forced to fit here. So now I can be free. Now I can flourish. Now I can be successful, right? Let's go a little deeper, okay? You have a friendship, and you only stay friends because you've been friends so long, right? But every time you talk to that person, it's a bad experience, whether it's just maybe they're negative, maybe they complain a lot, maybe they still talk about people a lot, maybe they're just living a different lifestyle, maybe they still have some habits that you've given up. So the friendship is really unbalanced, right? But you're staying in the friendship because you're friends, right? Tell me why that makes sense to you. Because you can still love that person, right? You can still love that person, but you don't have to be so close to them. Every time you talk to them, nothing productive comes from it. They don't encourage you. They put you down for what you're doing. They don't help you grow. They no longer fit, or you no longer fit the friendship. Maybe they grew, or maybe you grew, right? It used to fit, but it no longer fits, but you keep trying to force it to fit. You just need to be thankful for the friendship, right? And move on. Let me show you another illustration, right? You're trying to force this relationship, this friendship, right? That's like me trying to force my hair in this ponytail holder, right? I'm like, okay, let me get it tight. Oh, it's hurting, it's pulling, it's pulling, it's pulling, it's pulling, it's pulling, it's pulling, right? And the rubber band feels like it's about to snap because I'm forcing it. I'm forcing it in there. And why? Why are you forcing friendships? Friendships that don't even serve you a purpose anymore. Just because you're friends, like I said, you can love them where they're at, but you don't have to be so close to them. If they're not helping you grow, it's time to release them from your life. It's time to release them. And it's okay, don't feel guilty about it. You can still love them. But stop staying in a friendship that doesn't fit you anymore. And you don't fit the friendship. I have more. Let's keep going. Moving on to relationships. I know this can be sensitive, right? I think we've all stayed in a relationship that doesn't fit us anymore. Or you're still in a relationship that doesn't fit you anymore. For various reasons. You love them. Fear of failure. You hope and think that they're going to change. Maybe you don't know how you're going to make it without them. Maybe you're in an abusive relationship and you don't know how to get out. You certainly don't fit there. You're staying in a relationship that is literally tearing you down on a daily basis. You were never meant to be there, but you forced it to fit, right? And now you're losing yourself. You're losing your peace. You're losing your happiness. Your sanity, boo. You're losing your sanity because you're forcing this relationship that you don't fit. You've lost your happiness and you lost part of you because you're forcing it to fit. Let me show you how that looks. This is going to get a little messy on this one. This is what you look like, forcing yourself in a relationship that you don't fit. This banana seems to fit a little bit, right? Ah, man, that sucker just busted. And now everything is coming out. I know that looks kind of nasty, y'all. But do you see that? I'm still trying to force it, but everything's oozing out on the side. That's your peace. That's your sanity. That's your patience. That's you. Only a little bit is getting in the bottle because you're losing yourself. Because you're trying to force yourself to fit in a relationship that you're no longer meant to be in. We're going to keep going, and this is the last one. You keep trying to fit yourself into what the world thinks you should be and what the world thinks you should act like and look like, maybe even your friends and family. So in the process of forcing yourself to fit that standard, right? You lose your happiness and you lose yourself. People in the world or your friends and family say you need to go to college, you need to do this, you need to dress this way, you need to look this way. Boo! It's not up to them. Yeah, if you're a child, okay, yeah. But you don't have to fit their standard, right? You don't have to fit the box that they made. Look at this box right here. Look at this box, okay? What do I look like? What do I look like standing in a box? And I can't go anywhere. Because I'm trying to fit the standard of the world. And I'm trying to fit the standard that someone else wants me to choose. Right? That doesn't even make sense. You are made to fit in a box. You're made to be free and to be you. You're miserable because that's restrictive. Because you can't move. You don't fit the standard, and that's okay. Stop forcing yourself to fit their standard. You need to start forcing yourself to fit where you belong, and that's you. Choose you. Stop forcing yourself to fit in relationships and partnerships, friendships, relationships, marriages, jobs, choices. Stop forcing yourself to fit where you no longer fit. Because you matter, and you don't have to force yourself any longer. That's all I have, but I want you to say this with me. I will no longer force myself to fit in relationships that are no good for me. In a job where I'm not flourishing, successful, and happy. I will no longer force myself to fit in other people's boxes. I release people that aren't for me. I choose me, and I choose to be happy. Hey, thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you, and I hope that this helped you. I pray that God blesses you with a great week, and make sure you say those things to yourself. Hey, check back next week for the next message.